The FBI has identified the man who held 4 people hostage in a Texas synagogue Saturday. He was a 44-year-old British citizen. The man walked into Congregation Beth Israel during services Saturday morning. This was in the town of Colleyville, a suburb in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He held 4 people, including a rabbi, at gunpoint. 11 hours later, the hostages were safe and the suspect was dead. President Biden spoke about the incident Sunday.
I spoke this morning with the Attorney General and to get a rundown on, he said there was overwhelming cooperation with the local authorities and the FBI, and they did one hell of a job. This was an act of terror. This was an act of terror.
You heard the president calling it an act of terror. However, he wouldn't get into the suspect's motivation. For more on this, I want to bring in CBS News correspondent Omar Villafranca, who is in Texas near the scene. Omar, how were authorities able to free the hostages unharmed?
Well, Lana, we are here outside of the synagogue right now. You can see behind me here, it's still blocked off, and there are investigators still inside kind of processing the scene. Obviously, there's not going to be any services here. About the hostages being freed, initially there was local SWAT teams here kind of surrounding the area, pushing everybody back. There was initially a threat of a bomb, so residents who lived nearby had to be pushed back at this point. Federal investigators also came in. The FBI came and assisted, and from what we understand, there was a special FBI tactical team that came in here with the help of local law enforcement as well, and went inside. Now, the media was kept very far back, but at a certain point, you could hear like a flashbang and several gunshots. And that's when we learned that the situation was over. The hostages, one had been freed earlier in the day. The hostages were fine, and the suspect was dead. So the feds are kind of being quiet right now on exactly how the operation went down, but we'll learn more throughout the day. They're still inside, like I said, investigating. So once they feel more comfortable, they'll kind of shed light on what happened.
Omar, the suspect could be heard ranting on the synagogue's live stream. What can you tell us about the suspect or about anything that authorities have learned about his motive?
I'll tell you, the FBI just released a statement saying his name. He was a British citizen by the name of Malik Faisal Akram, 44 years old. And in fact, the president actually talked about this a little bit in that clip. There was more of it. He was mentioning the suspect. Apparently, the suspect did have a gun. The president was being asked questions. How could this person get a gun who had just come to the U.S.? And there's a lot of details that we're still trying to find out. We're just learning a name. Interesting note is that when this all happened on the live stream, I was able to peek in before it was taken down and hear the man talking. He was angry. There was a very loud tone. It sounded like a rant. And I heard one of the negotiators talking to him saying, hey, there's somebody in there who may have low blood sugar. What can we do? But shortly after that, the live stream went down. So there was a line of communication that was established pretty early, and we can assume at this point that they just kept talking and talking to that individual throughout the night. As you mentioned, this happened just after 10:40 a.m. The services were being live streamed, and that's when the person walked in. There was 4 people inside, including the rabbi. As we mentioned, suspect dead. The 4 hostages are out. They are safe, including the rabbi. We don't know the ages of anybody else, something that we'll learn throughout the day.
Omar, is this now, with the suspect being dead, is this now over? Are authorities worried about any more threats?
They've come out and said they think this was an isolated incident. They don't say that there's any immediate threat. In fact, they didn't find any sort of explosives. They were allowing people who live in this neighborhood to come back. It's kind of hard to tell from right here, but you know, the synagogue's here, but there's houses that surround it all around, and there's actually another small church next door to it. So everybody who lived in a radius, out of an abundance of caution, they just told everybody to get out. But the FBI thinks this was an isolated incident. But why he chose this area, there's some details that are out there on the internet. We're going to wait to verify all of this. I'm not going to go to Twitter for verification, but we want to make sure that things, you know, who this person was, how they got here to the U.S., how long they've been here, why they chose this particular area. We're about 25 miles away from Dallas, about 5 miles away from Fort Worth. So we are perfectly nestled in the suburbs here. So why this particular place? Once we get more details on a possible motive, then we'll have to see.
All right, Omar Villafranca, thank you.
Thank you, Lana.